My child, come and sit with me for a while. Not because I need your attention, but because you need rest. You have been carrying so much inside your head. Thought after thought, question after question, possibility after possibility. It has not been one concern. It has been layers of them. You wake up thinking, you fall asleep thinking, you replay conversations, you rehearse future scenarios, you analyze tone, timing, silence, outcomes. Your mind has been trying to build certainty out of uncertainty, and it is exhausting you. I see the tension behind your eyes. I see how your thoughts spiral when you are alone. I see how you try to connect pieces that refuse to align. You are trying to solve a life that is still unfolding. You are trying to read chapters that have not yet been written. You are trying to interpret events without access to the full context. And the more you think, the less stable you feel. That is not because you are weak. It is because you are trying to carry something that was never meant to rest entirely on your shoulders. You believe clarity will calm you. You believe answers will steady you. You believe if you could just understand why this happened, why that ended, why something changed, why someone left, why an opportunity closed, then your heart would settle. But listen carefully. Peace is not the reward for perfect understanding. Peace is the result of trust. You were never designed to live by explanation alone. There are things you will not understand right now. Not because you are incapable, not because you are unworthy, but because you are human. Your perspective is finite. Your vision is momentary. Your understanding is shaped by what you can see and what you have experienced. I see further. I see connections you cannot trace yet. I see protection hidden inside disappointments. I see redirection inside closed doors. I see preparation inside waiting seasons. You see interruption. I see positioning. You see delay. I see timing. You see confusion. I see threads slowly weaving into something intentional. You are inside the story. You cannot step outside of it to examine the entire narrative. You are living one page at a time, and there is nothing wrong with that. But you keep trying to rise above the story and analyze it from a distance. You are not meant to hover over your life like an editor. You are meant to walk through it with me. There is a difference. When you attempt to rely entirely on what you can reason through, you place all your weight on limited understanding. Unlimited understanding will always feel unstable when stretched beyond its capacity. That is why I told you, Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. This does not invalidate your mind. It places it in proper proportion. Your reasoning is a tool. It is not the foundation. Your analysis is helpful. It is not absolute. Others will not come until you can look back. And a few answers will remain beyond explanation. Not because they lack meaning, but because meaning does not always require full disclosure. Your need to understand everything is rooted in a desire for control. Control feels safe, but control is fragile when it depends on knowledge you do not possess. Trust is different. Trust rests on relationship. Trust rests on character. Trust rests on who is guiding, not on how clearly you can see the path. I am not handing you a maze and walking away. I am walking with you inside it. Psalm 32:8 says, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you. Notice the sequence: instruction, teaching, counsel. These are relational processes. I do not drop an entire blueprint in your hands and expect you to navigate independently. I guide you incrementally, step by step, decision by decision. Sometimes the next step is simply patience. Sometimes the next step is rest. Sometimes the next step is letting go of a mental loop that is draining you. Your anxiety intensifies when you attempt to stand in tomorrow while still carrying today. You are stretching yourself across time that has not arrived. That tension is unsustainable. Return to this moment, right here. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are not missing a hidden clue. You are progressing at the pace required for the formation happening within you. Formation matters more than speed. You think progress is measured by visible change. Often it is measured by internal restructuring. You are being strengthened in ways you cannot. When you read a story, you understand this instinctively. The middle is always complicated. Characters face obstacles. Motives are unclear. Conflicts intensify. Outcomes are hidden. If you stopped reading in the middle, you would misinterpret the entire narrative. You are judging your life from the middle. You are evaluating meaning before resolution. I am not afraid of the middle. I am not confused by the tension. I am not overwhelmed by the knots in your circumstances. You feel knots because you see tangled threads. I see design in progress. Some knots do not loosen through force. They loosen through patience. When you pull too hard on outcomes, you tighten the very thing you want released. You want immediate clarity, immediate closure, immediate direction. But sometimes clarity follows healing. Sometimes direction follows surrender. Sometimes understanding comes after trust, not before it. I told you, Isaiah 55:8-9, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord." This is not distance, it is depth. It means your interpretation of events is shaped by present emotion. Mine is shaped by eternal perspective. You see the moment. I see the trajectory. You see the surface disruption. I see the long-term construction. You are anxious because you are demanding answers prematurely. Some things are still forming. Some explanations are still developing. Some reasons are not safe for you to carry yet. Information has weight, and I do not place weight on your heart before it is strengthened enough to hold it. You interpret silence as absence. You interpret delay as neglect. You interpret uncertainty as instability. But silence can be strategy. Delay can be protection. Uncertainty can be transition. You are in the middle of something, and the middle rarely makes sense. The middle is where tension lives. The middle is where questions multiply. The middle is where progress feels invisible. When you lean exclusively on what you can compute, you become anxious whenever the equation does not resolve cleanly. You are not anxious because there are no answers.